How you doing today? This is the African Queen, and you are listening to Power Plug Radio. Hold on, my mic ain't right. You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also look us up on Amazon, Google Play, Apple Store, and you can go to www.powerplugradio.com and find us there. We play all kinds of music. We have wonderful shows, and we hope that you will join us. We are 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Oh my goodness, look. But anyway, so I want to welcome you back to Taboo Talk. And we are going to continue our conversation from last week. So I have a guest in the studio with me. Guess you want to introduce yourself?
Smoking section. Hey, everybody.
So this is the smoking section. And that's what we're going to finish the conversation about with the topic of medical and recreational marijuana. So last week we had a good time with the conversation. We talked about all of the different types. We talked about the different fields. You know, it's not that street weed that your dad used to have back in the day, right? You know, now it's like going to the grocery store when you walk up in there. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about the difference between medical and recreational marijuana. And then we will also be talking about dispensaries. And then last but not least, talk about, you know, the ramifications of the fact that for decades, they have been locking up people of color for selling dime bags on the corner. And now the same people who was locking people up are the main ones opening up the dispensaries and making money off of it. So we're going to try and tip on all of these conversations when it comes to a medical marijuana, Mary Jane, all them other things. So medical versus recreational. So Florida is a medical state. You have to go through a process in order to get a medical marijuana card. It's not a really tedious or long process. But once you get your card, then once you see the doctor, then the doctor submits the paperwork, and then you get your card. And once you have your card, then you're able to go to a dispensary to purchase. You get an allotment every month, and you can't exceed that allotment, and your allotment does not roll over like the minutes from Sprint. Okay. So if you don't use it, you lose it. So I mean, that's basically the gist of it. Every 7 months you have to go back for a new exam with the doctor for reevaluation, and once a year you have to renew your medical marijuana card, which is about $75. So with recreational, it's just that. So like when you go to states that has recreational, like when we were talking about Colorado, I'm telling you, it's dispensaries everywhere. They always separate them. You have two lines, one for medical, one for recreational. And then when you go into that room, it's like a grocery store. You know, have you been in one for recreational?
No, only just medical.
Okay, so just imagine the medical with a step up, because they selling brownies and beer and drink, all kind of infused drinks and juices. They have the brownies and the cookies and the caramels, and I mean it's like the medical plus. Yeah.
I'm looking on the map right here. There's so many.
Yeah.
So many in the region.
A lot.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you go in there, everyone is friendly. It's funny because, you know, you can tell when you go in the dispensary which one of the people helping you is high, because they be in there high. Yeah. But, you know, it's like, but if it's a feel, and I guess the people have to find the right way for them. You know, I'm not a big smoker. You know, I don't like that burn on the back of my throat and the coughing. Yeah. You know, so I tend to, I mean, I probably just need to get used to it, you know, but I tend to lean more towards the edibles. Yeah. and the resin. I need somebody to teach me how to cook with the stuff. Yeah, I want to make some brownies and some cookies.
Yeah. I'm not a big edible fan.
I am. I like the edibles. It's like a one time, I can have one 10 milligram gummy, you know. It's slow acting, so it doesn't hit you right away. But when it gets to you, that 10 milligrams is a lot.
Is it more like a body high? Or?
It's an all over, you feel it, all over. So it's that you mellow out. Well, it depends on which one you take, because they do have sativas and then they have the indicas.
I would be indica.
Yeah, and see, I do sativa when I during the day. Because it gives you I get the one that helps me with the focus all of that, and I take it. But you still have to get used to it, because you still get the high, because it's THC. So I like the gummies, and depending on which ones you use. Now, I have the drink, and we need to open that bad boy. Look, we just haven't been getting together, but I got the drink, the 100 I bought the 100 milligram drink, and so each shot is a 10 milligram shot with 10 milligrams in there, and so it's sitting in the refrigerator, y'all. We got to do it. We got to try it. Yeah. So we're going to have to figure out a time to do that one. And so thank you. So, but, with recreational now, you don't even have to have a car. You just have to be of a certain age. Yeah. And look, let me tell you, the first time I got in line in Colorado, they have
social lounges in Denver.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. They have social lounges. They have parties where all of the drinks are infused.
Oh my.
And I didn't even get to learn as much because, I was there for my son's wedding. I was having a flare up. So I had planned to be like, hey, I ain't even get to do it, y'all.
Wow.
That's all right. We going back there in September.
They have marijuana and mimosas.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They have this one drink. It's a lemon drink. And they take the resin and they make like a little bubble and they put it in there and it dissolves as you're drinking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean they're coming up with all kind of stuff. They have restaurants that serve infused foods. The one thing I can say is that when we get recreational here, it is going to open so many doors. People are going to be able to do so much. You're going to be able to have the bars and the restaurants and the doggy bar. They have stores that are just for animals.
Oh yay!
Because a lot of them, like with the CBD, like we have to give CBD oil to both my mother's dog and my son's dog because of their hip. The CBD oil helps them with their joints. So there's dog stores that make edible foods that are infused.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because giving medicine to an animal is hard. Mm-hmm. Really hard.
But put it in something that they want to eat.
Yeah. Or have it in a treat they already like.
That they already like, then they're good to go. Yeah. But when we look at smoking, period. So you and I are from different generations. Mm-hmm. So, for me, it was always that you got to hide and do it because it was illegal, and even though I grew up watching my dad and, all their friends and my older family smoking, they always said, don't you do this. This is bad. I'm like, as you puffing on this joint, so I kind of just stayed away from it for me. And then, it was you had to run and hide. And the first time I did it was because the experience I told y'all about last time, and that was my boyfriend, and he sold weed, and finally I decided to try it. And then I'm not a big smoker. So I remember I hadn't smoked in like years. And when I say years, I'm talking about like 8-9 years. Yeah. And then I moved up north and I met a friend who said, he was like, well, if you don't like puffing on it, we can do a shotgun.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, what is that?
Yeah.
And so we did it. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. So I'm not going to mention his name.
You can't shotgun nowadays.
Yeah, but right. Not now. COVID. But I'm not going to mention his name, but I felt safe with him. I knew I could trust him.
Yeah.
And that's the way I did it. And that was it until I came home. And then, everybody was like, you need to get the medical marijuana because of your fibro. And so now it's different for me because it's like, wow, something that people stuck around with. I just walk in a store and be like, yeah, that's me. I got it. I walk out with 3 grams of,
some good stuff.
But for you, so explain what the experience is for you. How is it for you being able to do it?
Honestly, I just do it whenever, wherever. Ever since I got my license for it. Before, I was very scared of it because I've had bad experiences. But when my mom got it, don't do what I did. I smoked some of my mom's. You can't do that, y'all. Don't do that. But she let me try it because I was having a really bad panic attack one day. Okay. And then I was like, okay, I can do this. So, we kept trying different ones. And she was like, okay, finally, I think you're able to get your own card. Okay. Once I got the card, I felt like this is the chance to live it up. Like, none of my friends have the card, so it was just like, wow.
You're the big man on campus.
I got access. So, honestly, the way they have it now, I'm more confident in public because they have it in pen form where it looks like the tobacco pen. So people really don't know what it is I'm puffing on. Right. So maybe more freedom type feeling. Like I never had the feeling of having to hide it. So my generation, we're out there with it. So yeah. And
I think I can see a difference. I'm still not. Yeah. I have 3 pens. I'm just not comfortable. Right. It's just I think it's still that mental thing. I'm just not comfortable being outside of the the safety of 4 walls, doing it. And it's nerve-wracking to me. And I think that's something that not everybody in my generation, but some people we kind of shy away from that because it's still all right, is this a trick?
I also think that too, and this could lead into our next topic. It is kind of nerve-wracking a little bit because if you do get stopped, they can ask you what you smoking on, like through the pen wise, and then that's when you have to do the whole license thing, and they're like, why are you doing it in public and stuff like that, and the law's not on the side when you have darker skin.
It's not. It almost gives them a reason, and so I'm gonna tell anyone out there who is considering getting the medical marijuana card and the pen and everything. There's a lot that they don't tell you. Right. They gonna give you something and tell you to read it, but it's like when you have to read the terms of service and it's in micro print and it's 15,000 pages long. So most people don't read it, and it's very hard. It's a very hard read. Yeah. I've learned from lawyer friends and other people who know the law, and so one thing that they told me was, don't take the prescription labels off. Do not take them off. If you're going to be traveling with it within Florida, do not take those off. Make sure those stay on, because then you can prove that it is yours. Right. Even if you have that card, they're still going to want you to prove that it's yours. So I usually take the little case that the cartridges will come in. I take that little case. I'll take the prescription off of the box and wrap it around that little case, because that little case is easier to carry around than that box that the pen comes in. So, and then with my edibles, I'll just take the whole container, and they're not that big, right? But there's a lot. And one of the things that we touched on last week was there's a big rumor that if you get your medical marijuana card, you cannot get your concealed weapons permit. Right. And that's not quite true. And I know that there's a lot of people who are shying away from getting the medical marijuana card when they truly, truly need it. because they're afraid that either their concealed weapons permit will be taken away, or they could get in trouble and go to jail.
Right.
But and this could be a really good topic for the smoking room, talking about the concealed weapons permit and a couple of other things that it's been rumored that you would lose if you get your medical marijuana card.
Okay, so I'm reading on this website. Hold on, let me go through it. Okay, so I'm gonna go off just top of the head knowledge. Okay. I was reading an article like months ago where it was saying that you can have both licensures, but you can't have say if you're like in a car, you can't have
the weed and the gun and right. That's true.
You can't be like all out with it. So say if you're coming right out of the dispensary, and now so with the concealed weapons, I know a little bit of laws, not all of them under the thing. Okay. You can carry your weapon anywhere that doesn't have alcoholic beverages. So you can carry it in the dispensaries, I believe.
Unless the dispensary has declared that no firearms are allowed.
Right. So you can walk out of the dispensary with it. Now, once you get in the car, I believe you have to put it some feet away.
They need to be separate.
Right. Yep. You can't be like, going crazy with it.
Right. Yeah. And so you can't go and smoke 4 joints and then put your gun on your side and decide you're going to the club.
Right. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
But so here's how it works. The Secretary of Agriculture, and I don't know why we get our concealed weapons permit through the Department of Agriculture, but that's who submits the permits. She is a woman, and I cannot remember her name at the moment. She did state that she has both. She has both her medical marijuana card and she has her concealed weapons permit. Here's where the issue comes in. The issue is going to come in possibly when it's time for you to buy a gun.
Wow.
So here in the state of Florida, you can get your concealed weapons permit even if you have your medical marijuana card. If you want the weapon, that's where it may get hairy. And the reason why is because weapons are under federal jurisdiction, and medical marijuana is not legal federally. Is legal in the different states. So when you go to submit to purchase your gun, it could be denied. But there's also a very legal way around that. So what you have to do is, so let's say I wanted a gun and I wanted it, for whatever reason, don't matter, as long as it's not killing somebody. Right. And so what I could do is I could go to my son and I could say, Chris, I want to purchase, a Smith & Wesson 9mm. He can go and buy the gun legally, and then he sells it to me. If he sells it to me, he must sell it to me with a bill of sale. So like he pays $500 for the gun. I give him the $500 for the gun. He has to write out a bill of sale. We both have to sign it. If you go that way, it is considered a legal purchase of a gun, but that is the loophole that allows you not to have to go through the federal background check.
Right. Oh, I see that. Reading this right here.
So that is the loophole. Once it becomes legal federally, you won't have to worry about any of this. But up until right now, that's what you're going to have to do.
Right. Okay.
So, it's you jump through hoops to get what you want. So, but it's kind of what we've been doing forever. Is jumping through hoops to get it done. So, when you look at the different things, there's a lot of legal ramifications. There's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. know the basics. If you feel that medically that this marijuana is going to help you, you know, for me, it was my fibromyalgia and my anxiety. Mm-hmm. Well, and for you,
it was my anxiety, my scoliosis, my knee. It was a lot.
It was. So then for some people it's glaucoma, it's cancer, it's whatever, diabetes. There are a list of medical conditions that will allow you to get your medical marijuana card. Remember too that just because you get it doesn't mean you have to get the ones that give you the high.
Right.
Now and people don't realize that the CBD that you get from the dispensaries is a lot different than that CBD that you're buying from every store on the corner.
Even in what did I see that in? It was in the most craziest place I've seen CBD was sold. And
I saw it in Whole Foods.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my, when I first got to college in 2018, I'm still in college. I ordered I forgot what it was called, but it was a whole bunch of hemp. It was a ounce of hemp, and it was the flower. So it was just like weed, but it was, I guess, CBD hemp, whatever. It didn't give me that mind high.
Okay.
So my honest review, now that I smoked the whole ounce of that and then got on actual weed, the hemp is very good for somebody that has a great amount of pain that doesn't want to feel no type of euphoric feel within
I agree.
Their head.
Yep.
And I did the whole thing. I used I don't know what I was using at the time. I think I was using paper to roll it up in. I think I was using some type of leaf.
Okay.
Something like a backwood or something, but it was a good burn.
Okay.
It didn't give off that smell of weed that some people probably worried about, because I know hemp, when you smoke hemp, it looks a lot like weed, and when you get sold hemp through the internet, they give you a note to keep in your car so you can give to the police if you get pulled over with it.
Okay.
And the note stated, this is hemp. This isn't marijuana. It's legal, and they can check it. I guess the police have like this little thing that they can check it on.
Yeah.
And so I kept that in my car. So yeah, the burn, it was good. The smell wasn't loud at all. For people that want to start out on weed or feeling some type of effect from something, that's something to start out on. Then you can move to CBD. Yep. Then you can move to real stuff.
The THC.
THC.
So when you in the, like I said, and we said it, it's like going into a candy store. So I'm still learning. Mm-hmm. I know that when I go in, I get the pills because I also take the pills daily. Mm-hmm. And you can get straight CBD pills. They look like the little vitamin E gel vitamins. Yeah. You can get straight CBD. You can get what is 1-1. And the 1-1 means it's 1 part THC, 1 part CBD.
Yep.
Or you can get the 50-1 or the 100-1.
Yeah.
And so those are the ones that means it's 50 parts THC to 1 part CBD. Or 100 parts THC.
Yeah.
So I do the 51. Mm-hmm. I take them at night. It helps with my joint pain. It's not a big high, so it's not something that's going to knock you out. Yeah. And you probably really won't even feel it.
You think so?
I don't feel the 51. I felt when I got the ones that was 100-1, I could feel those. But the 50-1s, I didn't feel them. I felt the effects of it afterwards, like when I woke up, I felt that I wasn't as stiff and all that, but no, I didn't feel the high. No,
I would have felt it. I do want to talk about the negative effects of weed. It's a lot. Everything that has good effects has negative.
Yeah.
And I know we're shining so much light on the good things of it, but there is true indeed bad things, especially for people that go in it like they're a pro. And I did that exact same thing because I was surrounded by weed smokers, so I felt I had to start out on their level, and something happened. Let me tell y'all. So when I got my card, I guess I was smoking probably like 8 hours out the day.
Okay.
That's a lot. Yeah. And I knew I was smoking too much because I felt my mind changing.
Okay.
Because I was high all the time. So my brain, now that I look back on it, my brain was like getting foggier and foggier and foggier over time.
Okay.
So I must have did a little too much and didn't eat. And I had a full-blown like panic attack, but it was a different type of panic attack. Okay. It was something where I didn't feel real. And when I say this, I don't mean like my surroundings. I meant like my body didn't feel real. Like I didn't feel like I was a human. I would look at my hands and I'll be like, what? But that was happening in that moment. Mm-hmm. So when that was happening, I was at a party. So the next day I was okay. And then one day I woke up out of nowhere and I felt that same feeling. Okay. So now when I felt this feeling the second time, it kept going every day. Every day I was feeling the same way. So then I decided to look it up. And then it said that I went through derealization. Okay. So derealization is a mental state where you feel detached from your surroundings. People and objects may seem unreal. Even though you are aware of yourself, things don't seem normal. That's what the Google definition says.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So then I kept looking more into it, and then they said that something about dissociative disorder. Mm-hmm. I think that's how you say it. It's the same way as derealization, but it's more like it
becomes permanent, doesn't it?
That's what I'm about to get into.
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of feeling fake. Mm-hmm. That's really what it is. So I'm still going through it, but it doesn't feel how it felt when it first started happening. And it's all this is from smoking weed. Mm-hmm. So I guess when I broke it down, because it is a true, indeed scary feeling, because I don't remember feeling normal or like not foggy before all this happened. Okay. So when this first happened, I was panicking because I'm like, something is wrong. Here go my anxiety. Something wrong with my brain. Something. So I decided to look it up, and it on YouTube, it's a whole bunch of people that experiences. Oh wow. That blew my mind. Okay. Because when I kept telling people around me, even my therapist, I was like, I don't feel real. And she was like, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know anymore.
I need you to go smoke some weed so you can feel what I feel.
That's really what I was telling people, because honestly, true in fact, indeed, I was like scared out of my mind because I'm like, I don't feel real. Mm-hmm. So this is where I think social media. This is where I think YouTube. I think TikTok. I think anything, because they let me search up hashtag derealization or like weed derealization, and so many people made so many videos about it that they felt this same exact feeling. So that was like a kind of a confirmation to me that I'm not going crazy. Okay, this is something that happened from weed if you start out fast. Well, not necessarily if you start out fast, but that's how I got it.
If you take in too much, because you know what we realize is that you're very slim fit. Yeah. Me, I'm a bigger woman, mm-hmm. so I probably could handle something a little bit better than you. Yeah. So like that 10 millimeter gummy that I eat may hit you completely different.
And people don't realize like everybody's body is different. Yeah. And my body really honestly can't even take alcohol like that. So what am I doing? I don't know. I don't know when I do a whole bunch of weed. I don't know.
I mean, but you know, here's the thing, you know, like for me, I had two incidents, and so I know what you mean by feeling like things weren't real. And so I had done too much, and mine was a 2-time incident. And the first time I was in Reno, and my behind, you know, went to the dispensary, and and I bought a chocolate bar, but I was leaving the next day to come home, and I can't take the chocolate bar on the plane with me. Yeah. So the guy said, "Look, just eat one square." That's what he said. He looked at me. He said, "Only eat one." And you know what my ass did? I ate 3.
Oh my goodness.
I ate 3 because I was like, it's just chocolate.
It's just chocolate.
Man, you know, so I remember the high, and then I remember feeling, if there is such a thing, too high.
Yeah.
And then it was the disassociation, you know, the feeling like the garbage can was over there when it was next to me. And I remember I was in bed and something just said to me, you need to get out of bed. You need to lay flat on the floor.
Yes.
And I went to go roll out of bed, and I swear it felt like I was falling for at least 30 seconds.
Oh my.
And then it was just like, and it didn't get better.
More panic started to settle in. Like, you guys got to realize, like, when you feel fake from weed, the first feeling you feel of not being real isn't panic at all. It's actually the weed. Then when you start to experience things that are abnormal, then that's when the panic starts. So it's like more on top of more. It never comes down until you go to sleep.
And then, but you gotta get. The thing is, though, you gotta work all of this stuff out of your body before you can get to sleep. And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh my God, you know they're gonna find me dead in the hotel room."
Your mind goes crazy.
You go all kind of, and then
you're tripping.
And then and that's exactly what you're doing. You're tripping, and you feel like it's like your mind goes here, and I swear, like, I don't know if I was talking out loud for real, or if I was talking to myself in my head.
And it was really loud.
Right. And it was really loud. So I was like, okay. Because at one point I remember feeling like I was screaming, but I was like, okay. Then I had to stop, but no one ever came and knocked on the door. So I don't know if I was really screaming, you know. And then the nausea came. And that's when I started vomiting. Yep. And when I tell you I threw up, and after I finished throwing up, luckily I made it to the garbage can. I ain't throw up on the floor or nothing. I had the garbage can right there. After I threw up, I passed out right there on the floor.
That's exactly what I did.
Passed out right on the floor.
I was sick the next day.
I was sick for 3 days after that. It took, like, when I got up the next morning to go to the airport, it was just this crappy feeling. You know, and it lasted for about 3, and that plane ride was, oh my God, the plane ride was horrible. And it wasn't because the plane ride was horrible. It was because of how I felt. It was horrible.
It was,
oh my goodness, it was terrible.
Feeling fake.
Oh, and you know,
it's the worst.
And it is, you know, too much of anything is a bad thing, you know. So, but I don't
overindulge in it.
Don't.
Please don't.
Please, you know, do
especially
what you
medical.
need.
I'm gonna say medical for real, because I've had I'm gonna call it street weed. I've had street weed, and it's honestly a different feel.
It is,
like we said on the last show. But don't overindulge in medical. Please don't, because exactly what it helps exactly what they say it's going to help. So do not overindulge on that. It's like, honestly, I feel like when you feel or you go through those little panic attacks or feeling fake, that's just kind of overdosing yourself a little bit, because it's more than what your brain can handle. Like, you're feeling a different way than how you usually feel when you just smoke, you know, for a short period of time or eat one piece of edible. But if you keep overdoing it, you're gonna feel a certain way. It's gonna make you panic, and it's gonna make you have a negative feel towards it because you done overdid it. So don't self sabotage.
It's just, you know, I look at it this way: when you go to the doctor and your doctor gives you a regular prescription, and that prescription reads, take 1 pill twice a day.
You want to know something? Honestly, you're not supposed to smoke the whole pre-roll. That's what they told us. I did not know that. I smoked the whole
It's supposed to be a puff. That pre-roll is supposed to last you about 2 or 3, you know.
I think it was like weeks.
Yeah,
that's what they said. I think you're supposed to do 2 puffs and put it down. No, I'm smoking the whole thing.
Right. Right. It's supposed to be. It's kind of like the pen that I got, and the lady said, "Look, you asked me for the."
Oh, I got a pen on me
for the hammer.
I wish you guys can see. Oh, you can put it in front of the camera.
So, asking me for the hammer, and she said, "You said you wanted 2 puffs and you out." I was like, "Yep." She was like, "Okay, now." She was like, "This is them 2 puffs and you out, shit." So this is now. Is this a disposable pen or is this a reusable?
Okay, so that pen, you can take the top off. You can screw it off, and then the piece that you have in your hand, the longer one, that one's the piece you charge,
and this is the battery.
And you just screw it into the USB type thing and plug the USB type in, whatever,
into the wall. Yeah, I just use one of my phone chargers.
You can use your computer. It's really convenient
because it doesn't take a lot to charge these.
I use that to go out in public.
Okay,
so like, say if you're like on a coffee break somewhere where vapes are allowed to use, pay attention to that, because some places don't even allow vapes, so you can't just be in there using it, because then they're going to question you on what that is, and then it's not even the color of what liquid tobacco be. That's how somebody told me that's how they can tell in public if somebody's smoking weed or versus somebody smoking tobacco.
See, I don't know what the liquid tobacco ones look like.
Nobody knows what it looks like because it's always in something.
Oh, so
if you notice that, and weed shows it. That's how you can tell.
Okay,
that's why in public I always cover up that part.
Okay, because this is when you hear us talking about amber. This is the liquid you see in here, and it's not real liquid. This stuff is thick.
Like we said on the last show, it's like very sap like.
Right,
that's
and
exactly what it looks like.
That is the actual THC.
Straight THC,
right? And so it's just like a cigarette. You puff on the bad boy, and but now the one that I have, it actually has a dial on the bottom
where you can control the smoke. I need that.
Where you can control the smoke. Where did I get that from? Oh crap! I'm gonna have to remember so I can tell you where to get it.
My dial gonna be.
I think I got it from the place out on Tyrone Boulevard. I might have to remember the name of it, and I'll tell you. True Leaf? I think so. I think that's where I got it from.
So it's like green.
Yeah. True Leaf. Right between. It's like down from
Burger King area, like up in that area, like in the front of where the buses are.
No.
Oh, okay. This is another dispensary.
This is you go over the bridge over Tyrone Boulevard. So you pass the mall, you go over the little hump, and it's right before you get to
Cure Leaf? I don't know.
Cure Leaf. I think that's it.
Yeah, Cure Leafs are far. They're not in the central area where we are.
Yeah, but I went out there because I went with my sister friend, and so that's the one. It has the dial, and so I just got mine on the lowest setting because I wasn't going. But these are convenient.
Yeah,
they're inconspicuous. You can just put, if you want to design something to put it across there so they can't see it. You could do that with the sticker. That wouldn't be hard at all. But I mean, to me, you change these out. The cartridges range anywhere from 35 to 60, to about 60, 65.
And the thing is, what the mistake I made, I kept buying the pen part.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So when I first got to college stories, and I'm not even finished. When I first got there, I had bought the tobacco type one, but I was using it for like hookah purposes, because I wanted like a little cute little hookah pin or whatever.
Okay.
So I didn't know I could have saved that one and put a cart on it. Now, when we say carts, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about these things,
right? And
I could have saved it. So then we had got another one. It was like this thicker one, but it was something like pod. Like these aren't the only types they have. They have different ones.
Yeah.
They have the big pod ones. Those ones didn't work for me.
I want to try the G pen. Have you heard of the G pen?
I heard it, but
G pen supposedly the way that the pen is made and the cartridges for the G pen are made, it somehow pulls the medicinal factors from the actual amber in a way where it gets to your body quicker.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you that real bad burn where you just cough.
Yeah.
So, and see, that's the part that bothers me. So I'm really thinking about trying a G-pen to see if that works for me.
Also, I just had a quick thought. When you said smoke, do they have something that you can put in your diffuser? Can you put like the oil that they have?
I don't see why not. Well, you just, and so it's like inhaling?
Yeah, like you just put the water in a diffuser.
I don't see why
drop
not.
the droplets.
That'd be a good question to ask next time. You know? Look, I would love to have a diffuser where in my room
where
and you could just
going off.
And you could just inhale it. It's going to be in low doses, but as long as it's enough to keep you in a mellow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they need to do that.
Right. And I want people to understand that we were taught, especially my generation, the generations before me, we were taught that, weed would kill you. It's bad for you. It kills your brain cells. There is so many medicinal purposes for weed. And if you don't overdo it, like we said,
you can have really a lot of fun with it. You can really explore. Honestly, it made me just realize who I am in a sense. Like I was able to calm down my mind, and having a busy mind and go into a calm, sound mind. I was nice. Like, yes, this is it.
Because for Black women, I remember when I was living in Ohio, I started suffering from insomnia. And I finally, after a case of not sleeping for so long, I started hallucinating. So I finally went to the doctor with my stubborn ass. And I told my doctor, and I said, she laughed and she said, well, Black women suffer from insomnia because our minds never stop.
Of course.
We're constantly going, even in our sleep, we're still thinking. So to be able to take a few puffs off of a pen,
right,
pop a lozenge in your mouth, do a gummy, whatever, take a couple puffs off of a joint. Use
the oil. If y'all do coconut oil, you can get the trinket.
The tincture.
Y'all
tincture.
Can use that oil, rub it in, and use it as a topical type thing.
And they also have a tincture that comes in flavors that you can just put directly in your mouth or in your drink. It allows you, you can. And the good thing I like about using the edibles or the powders or the liquids is you can measure it just better than, okay, I'm gonna take 3 puffs,
right?
But you could say, okay, I'm putting 2 drops, or I'm putting a half of whatever. But it allows you to measure it and play with it to see which one is best for you. We're not trying to take you on some psychedelic trip. What we're trying to do, it's not.
Some people think it's that, like your mind just trips out. You go see
your
bunnies.
Mind quiets down.
Who doesn't love quietness in the brain?
But you want to know something? There are so many of us who have lived our lives with this noise in our heads that never stop. That when the quiet comes in the beginning, it's scary.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was, because I've been dealing with loudness in my brain for a while, and when I finally felt at ease and then didn't have any loudness in my brain, I was terrified. I'm like, what was that? It kind of freaked me out. But then I gradually got into it, got more into relaxing, and I figured out this is it. I know how to control the voices now, and it comes from weed. That's the positive.
That's the positive.
If you don't want to feel like that, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Look, I do most of the time, because I do have a 9 to 5. So most of the time I do mine in the evening.
Right.
And
that's when a lot of people do it anyway.
So I go upstairs to my room. If I feel like smoking, I'll smoke. If it's not smoking, then I'll use some edible or the tincture oil or whatever. And using the edible, it gives you about an hour and a half before the real big high hits you.
Right.
So it gives me enough time to take it, get myself together, take my shower, get comfortable, turn on the TV, and get in bed right before the high is going to hit me. And then because that high hits me, it also makes me sleepy. And I'm able to go to bed.
Yeah. Quickly, let's talk about smoking and then going out in public. I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. So my friends in school, they can smoke, and we can go to a party. Me, I'm the complete opposite. It makes me hyper aware.
Okay.
And I'm already hyper aware because I'm in public. I gotta, watch out for my surroundings. Okay. But being under the it just, I don't know. It's just like paranoid on steroids. Like my brain, especially doing a sativa. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, you did say that the sativa hits you a different way.
And then club lights.
Right.
It's dark, but the lasers tripped me out. It wasn't really because I was panicking. It was just the sativa making everything so like.
Yeah. It was because the sativa is going to give you the high, but it's also going to give you the clarity of mind.
Yeah,
or
like
it's going to give you the energy. Because there's one that my friend, she said whenever she ready to clean her house, she said
lemon haze.
Is that okay? Because she said she smoked one of these and she will clean her whole house.
Or lemon skunk, one of them.
She will clean her whole. We already told you the names on these are crazy.
Lemon something.
Right.
That sativa is powerful.
Yeah.
Focus. If you need to focus, if you're not really indica, if you're not really somebody that doesn't have a hard time like unwinding,
right.
You need something to like, give you energy. Sativa is your best friend.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Exactly what you need to use. You can function off sativa every day, all day, at night, in the daytime.
Yeah.
All that'd be.
And that's what the sativa, that's what they tell you, especially if because one of the first questions they ask you when you go to a dispensary is, do you have a day job?
Right. Like,
and it's
what do you do? They
right.
need to figure out what you do
so they can tell you what's good for you to do.
Right.
Some people who need to some people who need to be like hyper aware.
Yeah.
They tell them, during the day you need to do straight CBD, because there's no hallucinogenic effects, no high or anything like that. For some people who are able to, they'll tell them, but see, then you also, because it's technically not legal federally, the laws and the policies. Now the law says if you have your card, you can do it.
Yeah. But
there are many jobs who have not separated marijuana from the rest of illegal substances. So, so you go to work with your medical marijuana card and you're hurting. So you took, let's say you took a 50-1 pill. And yeah, you may have a little bit of high, but it's giving you the ability to work because it was a sativa. You may possibly can still get in trouble and lose your job because the policies have not caught up with the law yet, right. And that's unfortunate. So I'm very open about the fact that I have a card.
Me too.
I usually, and I'll be honest, I have used a sativa, a light version of sativa, and gone to work. But for the most part, I try not to, but, in my mind, this is what's allowing me to get myself together so I can go to work. Right. I don't want to, and it's not like I'm sitting up in here, high as a kite. I don't do.
It's not stopping you from working.
And it's not stopping me from thinking correctly. It's not stopping me, from making good decisions or anything like that. Now, when I do an indica, or if I do something, or if I do like, instead of doing a quarter of a gummy, I do a whole gummy. Yeah. I don't drive. I'm not going to go out. To me, that's like driving intoxicated. Right. If I have done that and gone out, but I was not the driver. Yeah. It is a different experience when you high and you go out. You look at people differently.
Yeah, you be like,
you see colors that may not be there for a minute, depending on how much you did. But it's still not this feeling of dread, and you don't get the downer effect at the end either. So we just have to. You have to be careful with what you do. But let's segue before we end. I want to segue into the illegal and the legal. So we know that for, like I said, decades, Black and brown people have been incarcerated for ridiculous amounts of time over weed. So since weed has started to become legal in many states, we're starting to hear, well, if it's legal now, y'all need to let the people out.
They need to free them people.
They need to free the people.
Because how you...
Go ahead. Say it.
Let me clear my throat. It's a dispensary and a licensure place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go down there and count the steps. I'm gonna do it myself. It's like it has to be 100 steps away from the police department. The new one.
Mm-hmm. Move. It's
not even no joke how many people come out that dispensary, especially on sale days.
Yep.
And it's not even a joke how many people come in to get more information on how they can sign up to get their card that comes in. So not only are they creating foot traffic, they also have a way, like you can order online and they do delivery now.
Girl, when I saw that they gonna deliver it to your house.
Not the one that's down the street from the police department, but Satera does it. I know they do it in Gainesville.
Yeah, Satera does it, but there's another one that
does delivery.
Isn't it Fluent?
I think so.
Yeah, they will deliver to your house.
It's crazy because it's like now you got these people are drug dealers.
They are.
These people come from somewhere that has a whole bunch of weed. The trap house. Sorry,
right.
I'm gonna take it there. The trap house, the dispensary,
the legal trap house. Right.
Get in their car with your order. That they have a scale that they measured out at the trap house to come bring it to your house.
And they politely do.
That's what my local weed man does.
Right.
But my local weed man has to fear for his or her life.
Mm-hmm.
But Billy Bob and Sam or Sarah come from the dispensary, the trap house, to give me my weed with free delivery though.
Wait a minute, and hold on. And half the time, Becky be high herself.
Exactly. Okay, she's driving under the
You know, and you look at it, and honestly, I've been in probably about 6 different dispensaries in Pinellas County.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I've been in 2 different ones in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And I can count the number of people of color who work there on one hand. Oh my gosh.
Gainesville, it's like 3.
Yeah.
No lie, it's like 3. And when she seen me walk in, she was like, girl, like we gave each other that black look. Like, right. You good?
Like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, like I'm coming in here, but I gotta leave though. Is you good though?
Yes.
Cause what?
And it's and it's sad because yes, you have people that's in jail. No, let me take that back. In prison.
Yes, prison.
For having a couple ounces of weed on them.
Right.
You have people
not even with intent to sell. It's just for themselves.
Just but they will slap them with some charges.
But my allotted amount is an ounce. My allotted amount. But look, they're in jail for an ounce.
I get 2.5 ounces. Right?
Like what is it?
Right? And you sitting back like and this like I have friends who went to jail because they were selling, and yes, now it's legal. So let's say, okay, yes, they stole it when it was illegal, so they were committing a crime. I get it. But here's my thing. I agree with all of the people. Yes, they sold it when it was a crime, but if they're still in prison, and in the state they're in prison, they just made it legal. Let them go
out.
Like, what does it say? Let my people go. Let them out. Because right now, like I said before at the beginning of the show, the same people who put us in there are the same ones who own the dispensaries now.
Yes, the same people.
Y'all know who? Guess who? Y'all know who was the main person or main group?
Tell us.
Who helped to bring medical marijuana to Florida?
Tell us.
Morgan and Morgan. Morgan. Let me say that again. Morgan and Morgan. Everybody in Florida. Okay. And they brought it for the people. But let me tell you, they were the biggest advocates. They were the biggest push, and they are also the ones who want to make it want to make recreational legal. But they're not dumb. They know that there's money in there.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared because for Florida, I feel like Florida police officers are different. Even though Okay, say if we become a green, are we a green state? Even though we're not recreational, can we still call ourselves a green state?
I don't know if we can consider. Well, I mean, we would be, because I mean, right, it's medical. It's like we got so many damn dispensaries now. It's ridiculous.
Okay, when we become a greener state,
yeah.
I'm nervous that people will still get pulled over for it and then still get messed with, especially in Southside St. Pete. They'll pull over, try to question them about some other stuff, but really we know it's about the weed. That's what I'm thinking about.
And that's a very good possibility, you know. I mean, because
even though we're a green state.
Yeah. You know, I because every day I see videos on YouTube of bogus ass reasons why these cops are pulling people
now
over.
They have a reason, because they know weed is in the car, especially in Southside St. Pete. They know it's in there. They know. So now this gives more opportunity for more pullovers for unnecessary. They're gonna be like, "Well, we thought something. You didn't think anything. You knew it was weed in the car, and you just wanted to pull over to cause havoc."
And you know what? I need y'all to go after them opioid people. leave the weed smokers alone.
Yes.
Let us be. And go after them opioid people.
Them opioids.
Yeah. Because you know we go after them. Leave us alone.
They're hurting us for real.
They are. You know, the opioid epidemic is no joke. But we have had a good conversation. I know that this is also something that we need to bring this topic back up again, because eventually it will become legal. You know, and so this may be another topic that we bring up. And when we do that, guess who's going to be here with us?
Smoking section.
That's right. And so I want to say thank you so much for listening to Taboo Talk on Power Plug Radio.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.